So, what the fuck happened at COD Next? Because I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of creators saying it was meh. Some are saying that this is the best year ever and that we're completely back. Again, others are saying it was just mid. I saw Mr. Raffle Waffle's video about what they did to Dalek, which was it was completely like unprofessional. And then what happened at the $1 million Warzone tournament, to where there was no communication between higher ups and people on the ground and all the admins and all the players. People weren't even fucking allowed to pee or use a restroom for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Some people weren't allowed to stream, some people were allowed to stream, some people had cut streams out early. Audio issues. Yeah, the audio issue was bad too. I saw a lot of creators pissed off about that. The fact that that some lobbies weren't even working. This comes out day after COD Next, day before the beta. They completely fumbled the bag on it, and COD Next was just, it went over like a wet fart in church. Multiplayer, you guys are gonna be doing really good this year. Warzone's in the fucking toilet, like in the sewer. Zombies, we didn't really get to see anything on because all Zombies creators only were allowed to play for like 10-15 minutes, and then we're told, let's go to Warzone. And all the Warzone and multiplayer people, all their audience left the second they went to Zombies. And they were told, you have to do it this way, because that's what Activision stream needed. I don't know what's going to happen at all this year. Battlefield's definitely going to take over a little bit because their marketing and everything has been incredible. Oh yeah, we just found out that entire Zombies thing with Mr. Off Waffles, all the marketing, that was just done by him and his team, funded by him. Activision didn't approve it, and when it was released, they didn't like it. That was the reason a lot of people bought the fucking game. But anyways, JGod released a video saying goodbye, which I completely understand, so let's just react to this.
Today's video is a little bit different. I know it's kind of been leaning towards this, and I talked to a lot of creators. Just got back from Next, and I want to give my thoughts a little bit on Warzone specifically. I have a lot to say about Black Ops 7, and that's going to be in a different video.
That wall jumping thing is going to get so annoying with SPMM. It's going to be so bad.
Oh, and we got the beta and stuff like that, so there's stuff.
Yeah, beta comes out today in like 4.5 hours, something like that. I should be able to play it because I watched the stream for an hour and got a beta code. I haven't bought the game, and I probably won't buy the game until 6 to 8 months after it comes out because I'm going to be playing Battlefield the entire time. It just looks better.
Regards to that, but this video is mainly going to be about Warzone, and I mainly went into COD Next really like I'd made a couple videos already saying kind of like my initial thoughts on what they needed to do, and one of the things I said is
I'm going to be pausing the video a lot, but this game looks a lot like Black Ops 2 mixed with AW or IW.
really need to surprise us.
It doesn't look like Black Ops 3.
Give us a little bit of a wow factor that we actually have something to look forward to.
Oh, they surprised us.
And they kind of did that, but not really, and it really just fell flat. I don't know if it's out of touch or whatever the right thing is, or maybe my expectations were too high. I don't know. Regardless, I want to kind of just talk about my initial thoughts going into it, because I always kind of viewed it in either one of these ways, is that the perfect like storm of content that they could have given me and us for Warzone is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone wants every year. Than to be able to come back.
But another thing, they shouldn't do yearly release cycles. Do every 2 years, every 3 years. This is just not sustainable anymore.
Today after COD Next, and make a video specifically about Warzone and do Warzone is back. Like,
that ain't fucking happening.
That would be like the perfect.
I saw what was going on with Warzone. He'll probably get into it later on the video, so I'll speak on that later. But Warzone right now is just dull, boring, and not fun. Cheaters everywhere. No playlist updates. No meta changes. No small events going on. No small map changes. Nothing. And I get Black Ops 7 comes out in a couple months, but like, do something to keep us engaged. Anything. These little get this much XP or do this many challenges to unlock something. that's going to be useless in a couple months is just no.
Thing to be able to have as my title, as my thumbnail, is Warzone is back. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
Horrible, yeah.
It's not even remotely close to back.
It's going to be horrible next couple months too.
And it's not going to be for the foreseeable future.
At least another year.
What they gave us
year
in
and
terms
a
of
half,
information at COD Next is that, Season 1, when the integration normally happens, all the weapons are going to be integrated. Attack sprint is gone, which I like.
Okay.
I know some might disagree. Base movement speed is going to be increased.
Oh, I heard that's the jumping off walls and all that isn't going to be in. Like, that's the entire point of Black Ops 7. But that's just not going to be in a Warzone.
To compensate for that, you still want attack sprint, you got to use Sprinter.
So they got rid of attack sprint, made it a perk, and then increased base. That's just the dumbest shit ever.
Health bars above the head, which they really didn't talk about. I don't know if they just put that out there to get kind of a feeling for it.
We'll have to see.
I know people are really split on that.
I'll definitely have to see. It might fuck up mouse
I
tracking.
think that's going to be good just for
I'll
simplicity's sake,
nice.
Especially with some of the things they're going to be able to balance. Combat role with Mountaineer. Cool.
That's gimmicky. They got
Mountaineer,
that from...
if it doesn't get a buff, no one's going to be
stole
using
that from
Mountaineer.
Battlefield 6. And even then, I don't really use it in that game. Yeah, Mountaineer, no one fucking uses it. It's going to need a buff.
There's some perk changes, rebalancing stuff. We're going to get overkill by default. They're done with the
That's
wild cards so that you can equip your primary and secondary.
Not great, not
which
bad.
I think
I don't know.
people are kind of split on that too.
Yeah.
But people are generally fans of that.
I can see
but
that.
One of the best things that they talked about, which is just going to go under the radar for several months probably, is their ability to tune attachments and modify weapons with full autonomy, which they've always kind of had to go through Treyarch or Sledgehammer or...
I didn't know that. I thought that was completely on them and they were just being lazy with it. I didn't know that they had to go through their head, like the main developer of the game, to actually be able to, do all of that. I thought it was just purely Raven. I wonder if that also goes with like seasonal events stuff, if that's on Raven or if that's on the main dev. If it's on the main dev, I feel sorry for Raven for the amount of hate that they get for this game, because it should go to the main dev studio then, if they're not allowing Raven to do like weekly challenges, seasonal event. If they aren't allowed to do any of that, it's based off the main dev, that needs completely changed. That needs to just go on the people that are creating Warzone. This also goes back to the fact that Warzone needs to be its own separate game from the main Call of Duty every year, just so Raven has the authority and the identity to do whatever they want with the game, to balance it however they want. Just please. But that also goes back to shop bundles and how, I'm not going to get into that
Infinity
one.
Ward. And these level of restrictions essentially were shackles on Raven to kind of hold back the game. And that doesn't give them like a full out. That's just on that specific niche. Which
I hope that changes.
For, like, the past 3 years.
Which sounds like it is.
Of an issue.
Yeah.
Among many issues, floor loot, gulag not changing, map changes not happening frequently enough, events not feeling rewarding, and there's a lot of other stuff. We've done several videos on that. But the thing isn't really to harp on the old stuff that we've already talked about, but primarily the things that they talked about and why that's not going to satisfy me as a content creator, as a gamer for the next 7 months. It's just not going to. And I say 7 months because they kind of did some teasing.
Okay, he's getting into this now. Thank God.
On a lot of things. And, like...
Yeah,
it sounds
that's
like,
how
cool,
everyone
here's
felt.
the carrot on the stick, but it's like really 7 months out.
Yeah.
We're going to get the new map for Resurgence. Cool, that's going to be the Season 1.
Season 1 is 7 months out. You aren't getting... I believe... No, it wasn't 7 months out. I believe that Ranked and all that stuff, Season 2, that's 7 months out. So, like, why the fuck are we waiting 7 months for Ranked on that shit? The new Resurgence map, they're probably going to, within three or 4 months, get rid of it and bring it back to Rebirth. The new Resurgence map is just Liberty Falls. Liberty Falls and Mansions from Zombie combined and made a little bigger. There was just no effort put into it, basically. I don't know if that's on Treyarch or if that's on Raven, but it just looks lazy.
But I'll probably still prefer Rebirth Island. The map was fun to play. It was cool. I didn't get a ton of play time. It was versus...
Yeah, you got like maybe 20, 30 minutes on it and you're done. Which is like 2 games. And you're done.
The sweats, my first death is to Scump and Shotzi. Yeah, that's balanced, but whatever. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, you can't really help
You're
with
going to
that.
go against demons who literally played for a living. I've
that you
never
can't
done
help
that. It's
with.
like, cool.
That's how
Yeah,
the
what
event
about for
goes.
Big Map?
So,
Oh, we're going to get a reused POI, which I'm
mm-hmm.
sure takes a lot of work, and a brand new POI, which
Yeah. So for 7 months, all we have is Verdansk, a new POI that was basically just the globe at the top of the map, or that big structure at the top of the map, that art piece got redone. So it added some new stuff, and then a reused factory POI that we've seen from Cold War, I think it was. Even streamers who were playing like Teep and Shotzi and Sip and all them were like, "This is it. This is what we get to hold us over." I think Teep, even somebody from Treyarch who said, "Hey, we need a clip of you. How's the game going?" He was like, "Yeah, this isn't gonna. The community's not gonna be happy with this, like at all. The grind loot was good, but other than that, it's just the same shit." He had to redo that like 2 or 3 times because they kept saying the same thing and they kept coming back for a better clip. Like,
I don't know how impactful that's going to be.
it's not
I know
gonna be
when we
good.
were during the live stream, essentially we switched to Verdansk to show off these POIs, and everyone was like, "Why are you on Verdansk?" Like,
Yeah, we've
what
seen it.
is
You
this?
gave us a new POI and a used POI. We don't care.
And that's disappointing
Yeah.
because I was thinking it. Chat said it. I read it.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying it too. Everyone left the event feeling like a little deflated because it's like, really? What am I
Wait, you
supposed
can
to
do live pings in multiplayer? Have you always been able to? I haven't played multiplayer in like a year or two.
for 7
Have
months?
you always been able to do that?
Like,
Yeah.
I know it's not their job to care about what I'm going to make or not, but
Yeah,
I want to have fun
something.
making content. And if you're not going to provide me the tools to make fun content,
Shot, that's his first death.
then
Yeah,
the
you can't
symbiotic
really.
relationship
Shotzi and yeah.
isn't working, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the new map. So basically, Liberty Falls is main streets. All of this except for this parking lot. This going up into here. Going through, I believe this building's this. I don't remember, that building's not in. Okay, so they changed it a little bit. So this building is in. All of this, the mansion, and then everything else is just Liberty Falls. Like, that's what we're getting for a Rebirth map? That's what we're getting for a Resurgence map? 2 Zombies maps and the rest are just shit you added in? So what I'm thinking is they had this entire thing planned out and then took bits and pieces away from it and put it into Black Ops 6 Zombies.
I don't want to be those channels, where their whole shtick is talking about how trash the game is every year, how everything about it, even their W's.
I would want this game to be good, but
are trash, and nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. We'll talk a little bit more as we get in deeper into this. But they tease this blackout stuff, and it's like,
I have thoughts on that one.
They're marketing like this mode, but we get no clarifications on systems, how it'll differ from the original Blackout, that people have nostalgic feelings, and you can go back and play, even though it's kind of hard to get a lobby on console. And then also, how is that going to differ from Warzone? And there's too many unknowns.
I think that they just announced that they literally realized 2 weeks ago the pre-order numbers are so shit, and everyone was so excited for Blackout when we saw it, and they said, no, that's co-op campaign only, and then they saw the pre-order numbers and how the game's doing now, that they just announced this at COD Next that Blackout is coming back. But the fact they had no promotional material for it, no trailer, no answers for any questions, I think it was completely on the spot. Here it is. This is what we're doing because we know you guys want it, but we don't have anything ready for it yet because we just thought of it now. That's what I think happened. They had no idea what was going on, and Matt Cracks just killed Breadman. I'll have to look into him because Breadman's pretty good. But yeah, I don't think Blackout was anything planned from the beginning. I think they just thought of it maybe a couple weeks ago. And that's why we're having to wait 7 months for it to come out now, is because they don't have anything ready for it at all. Zero.
And when people speculate about these things, people get overly optimistic, positive, when there's really nothing tangible.
I don't think they had anything ready for it because they didn't think about it until like 2
in a
two
good
weeks
way
ago.
about it's really bad. There's no trailer,
Yeah.
no screenshots,
Nothing.
so that people can even nitpick
It was
and go,
just a
"Ooh."
screenshot from the trailer that they said was a co-op campaign. Nothing else. They did not have that ready at all because they just thought about it.
Ooh, they're bringing back the grapple hook or one of those types of things.
Yeah. No.
How is it going to work with progression? And leaks suggest, we don't know if they're accurate, but they sound pretty accurate, that next year's title will be MW4. And in that title, it'll be on an updated engine, which really just means that they're going to drop PS4 and old gen off the roster, so they're not going to be held back from those limitations of those consoles. And a lot of people are thinking
6
that
comes out next
will force people to upgrade their consoles, because that's not...
He's not wrong, but like, if everyone already has, like, most people already have PS5s and Xboxes now. I have an Xbox. I'm going to buy a PS5 for GTA 6. I'm not
previous
buying
gen either, so you'll
Duty.
be on the newest hardware.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably drop new consoles next year or whatever.
They're not going to be on a brand new engine.
It'll
be on a bandaged together IW engine that they've been using already. That's why there's so many cheaters, because they just keep trying to fix the original engine. They need a brand new, complete built from scratch engine. They did that for Cold War, or no, they did it for what was it? Was it Cold War? I think it was Cold War. They did it for that, but then the integration to Warzone was just so shitty, and they had to go back to the IW engine for Modern Warfare 3 that they just kept with the IW engine. If Warzone and Call of Duty were two different games, it would have been better.
Switch to this new engine. There's
a
realistic expectation that basically everything's going to be scrapped, and they didn't really clarify that because obviously it's so
okay.
far
So
out.
Are they going to switch to a complete new engine built from scratch?
So all your bundles you buy won't carry over to that. All right, cool. Even for Warzone, if they're going to do a new iteration,
I actually don't mind
Warzone,
lighting on this
like
new map.
Warzone 3, and the weapons will have other things, and the movement will be like. We kind of want separate games, but then they do things that do kind of the same game.
Yeah.
And then, like, you lose everything, and it's really like a weird shock that they kind of put themselves into. And it's unfortunate for some of the devs because they just kind of got to deal with it.
This isn't going to be the lighting for the release of the game, which is going to suck because the lighting's really good.
Didn't do their job. I know this doesn't really get talked about a lot because you really only get to engage with developers when you go to these more private events and you could talk to them one-on-one without someone looking over the shoulder, and they could be a little bit more candid. They're all trying to work hard. They're working their butts off to try and make the best game possible. But just like I said earlier, with the ability to have control and autonomy over the attachments without having to go to beg another studio to go ahead and try and change stuff is just one type of restriction. And there's others, and then there's people above that, and then there's these other support studios that everything's got to go kind of hand in hand in work. And sometimes there's going to be ideas, good ones, that are held back, and bad ideas that are put to the front.
We've been experiencing that for the past 3 years,
and it happens all the time. And they're just doing the best job they can individually, but there's people above that and other mechanics that just don't really get talked about enough, and it's unfortunate. Because they're not in control of whatever ends up happening with this. They also tease the fact that they're going to do a refresh to Verdansk and Rebirth.
We don't know what's going to be, though.
No context.
Yeah.
And on the same graphic, they show that the new Resurgence map is still going to be there.
I didn't see I did see this part, because I was like, seriously? But I didn't see the rest. So it's called Haven's Hollow now. Okay, yeah, that's literally just Liberty Falls. Signal Station is coming. That's the new POI. Factory is the remastered. Okay, Rebirth and Verdansk are still there, so nothing new basically, except for a Resurgence map. That's okay, whatever. Avalon's finally coming after what, 2 years of being teased? What the fuck does refreshed and updated mean? Is that not just the same fucking word, like, and then same? So yeah, we have nothing.
Happens, but that's not going to be updated.
Oh, this says 2026, so it doesn't even say season 2. Oh, it just says 2020. So we don't even know if this is coming season 2, season 3, season 4. We don't know. That's just season 1, and then 2020. Jesus.
So they've already banked on them keeping the map for the next 7 months. unlike what they did with Area
Jesus.
99, which at least that's a little bit of a
Area
plus.
99 wasn't
But without
that
any
bad.
changes or modifications, improvements, and I get that those things take a while. But what the heck are they going to do with Rebirth that hasn't already done?
Yeah.
Or Verdansk that already hasn't been done? Like, we did a time change before we went to 1984, and that felt completely different. So maybe
Yeah.
they stick with the Black Ops theme and they go to 2037 or 2035 rather, and we get wall jumping or something. I don't know, because even that.
If we
part
have to
isn't-
wait 7 months for wall jumping to come to Warzone,
included
Jesus.
in all the surplus of 20, 30 plus changes that they're doing to Warzone, wall jump still won't be there. And I think people are split on that, so maybe they got to decide on that. But what we played, it wasn't that way. And there's a lot of issues, that the fatigue part of it, but it also feels like Warzone has kind of become the forgotten mode. Right?
yeah.
We got lack of POI changes, lack of meta changes, lack of like just map changes. We don't have any POI. There's no events. There's no red doors. Day-night cycle.
Nothing.
Halloween events like don't get used beyond the like that 1 3 week period. Train station, subway, things that we already had in Verdansk still aren't being utilized. The Gulag is the exact same.
Wait, so him, Hex, and Matt went up against Symphony, Aiden, and FIFA Kill? Oh my god. I get it's the COD Next event and that's what happens, but that's completely balanced. Jesus.
All through Urzikstan, same Gulag. So we had the same Gulag for like 18 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Not even a different colorway.
No.
Like, oh, cool, it's kind of like grayish. Let's make it like orange or black with trim.
Something.
Like, even that would be something. It'd probably get hate, but it'd be something.
Something.
And I think it's gotten to a point where the pendulum for Call of Duty has kind of swung. Before Warzone dropped, obviously multiplayer was the main focus. Zombies kind of felt like a supplemental mode.
Yeah.
It got a lot of good content back in Black Ops 3 and on and off. But as soon as Warzone dropped, the pendulum hard swung the other way. And it's like
Yeah, it was something
Battle
new.
Royale, free to play is the main focus, even if it's at the detriment of multiplayer.
And now
some
it
people would
feels
argue
like it's going
zombies
the
with
other
plate
way.
systems or whatever the case is. And I think it's at the point where it's definitely swinging back. For me, I've always been a fan of multiplayer. I played since
I'm more of a Battle Royale
Modern
guy now.
Warfare.
I just don't care about
Played every
multiplayer that
iteration
much.
of COD. I
Especially
didn't always
'cause
play
skill-based
zombies on
matchmaking.
all of them, but multiplayer for sure. And then once BR came out, I was like,
Lucky Biffle and Rapalzi on Jesus.
oh, this is fresh, nice, fun content to cover. SBMM's kind of a drag on multiplayer. That'll probably still be a thing.
Yeah.
But it feels like the pendulum.
I
has-
heard that it's even worse this year and that aim assist is even stronger this year. Which I don't even know how you fucking do that. It's already fucking horrible.
It's kind of swung back, where as good as BO7 is going to be, even if you aren't a fan, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to have tons of content.
Yeah.
And the people who like it are just going to genuinely love it, and they're going to be supported for a while. Even with the fatigue of engagement optimized matchmaking or whatever. Same thing with zombies, I think, as well. I think they're getting tons of new maps, they're getting tons of content. But Warzone feels like it's now on the back burner. And
Jesus
this
Christ.
is kind of how a lot of
Lucky.
content creators that kind of stuck with multiplayer felt when I
Yeah.
started covering Warzone, and it was doing like well and easy to cover because they were just putting out W after W. I would talk to them and they'd be like, yeah, it feels like it's neglected. And I would feel the same too, especially on launch. I'm like, yeah, this is just not, it doesn't have the juice. Like they like scrapping these bits together to like just get by, because it's like the secondary mode now. And now it feels like it's the other way around. And this is even further reinforced by like all the context that we've had recently with COD Next, leaks, beta stuff that we're going to have this week, early access impressions from people like myself that got to play early about certain things. But we knew nothing about Warzone until COD Next. And it just feels neglected and kind of like hung out to dry. But then they tease like, oh, we're going to give you all these things, but like in 7 months.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't really help me to make... You want me to make hate content, like I hate Warzone for the next 7 months, that's not going to be fun. That's not something I'm going to commit to, and that's not something I'm going to do. So that's kind of where it's like, I was kind of hanging on there, hoping like something would come through, like a little bit more optimistic and positive. If you follow the channel, you know I'm generally more optimistic and positive, and definitely if you know people that know me in person, that's just how it is. And it's like the game's just gonna stay on life support, and they're really hoping until like this blackout thing drops that they're just gonna like pull the plug, and it's that moment of make or break, that like if they're gonna wake up or not.
Yeah.
And I think I've been along for the ride long enough that I don't want to wait that extra 7 months to figure out that ride, because their track record has made it so I'm less optimistic.
Battlefield 6 competition is good, and Battlefield 6 is kicking the ass of Call of Duty right now. Especially if BR for Battlefield 6 is good, it's going to kick the fuck. It's going to beat the shit out of Warzone. Multiplayer will be good for Call of Duty, but this is a battle royale scene now. Like X Defiant was purely multiplayer, it didn't do good. It's a battle royale scene right now, and if Battlefield 6 BR is as good as we hope it's going to be, it's going to beat the shit out of Call of Duty this year. And Activision's going to finally have to wake up and do something.
To ordinarily be. And that doesn't even get into the other issues, the bigger global issues of fatigue with weapon leveling, the anti-cheat, not having any kind of trust.
Yeah. Every time they put out a tweet saying we banned this many cheaters or we're updating Ricochet, they just get ratioed in the comments, and there is no trust with them anymore. If it takes you 5 years to get to this point, you've lost all trust.
For the players to know that people in their lobbies aren't cheating, even with Secure Boot and TPM 2.0, that's not going to solve everything.
Yeah.
And even if the anti-cheat worked flawlessly and perfectly, it would still take like 9 months to a year before people go,
hold on, was that
we actually kind of got a good anti-cheat. It would still cheating, even with Secure Boot and TPM 2.0.
Yeah, it's just not fun.
And even if the anti-cheat worked flawlessly and perfectly,
that role looks so, I guess it's going to the beta, but that role looks
it would still
so
take like 9 months to a year before people go, we actually kind of got a good anti-cheat.
We finally got a good anti-cheat.
So unless it ever gets relatively close to the level of Valorant, it's going to be a pretty uphill battle on them to ever regain the trust.
Yeah.
And for a little bit of perspective and reference, before Warzone ever came out, I don't know, I had like 200,000 subscribers. I had posted over 900 videos on multiplayer. So I'm very comfortable with the mode. I liked the mode. I enjoyed the mode. I just, at the time, Warzone was taking his W's. I enjoyed Warzone. Like, what am I supposed to do? And it kind of worked out. A lot of people were able to jump on. COVID happened. It was a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And
COVID
so
definitely
what does that
helped
mean for my
all
plans,
those numbers.
Right? It's kind of like I'm going to, like, say goodbye to Warzone essentially for now. I might cover here or there with, here's a slight info dump if anything major or significant happens. But when it comes down to it, it's basically like I'm going to give 0 F's about it.
Yeah.
Until something really sparks my interest, because I want to make content on it.
With how they announced all this, they basically killed Warzone. They didn't need any other game to do it for them. They killed it with what they just did and how they just announced all this.
Content I'm interested in. And I am significantly more interested in BO7's multiplayer.
I just don't care about Black Ops 7 multiplayer.
Significantly interested in BO7's zombies.
I don't like skill-based matchmaking.
Significantly interested in Battlefield.
As soon as Warzone came out for Black Ops 6, I just stopped playing multiplayer.
This is BR, not Battlefield 6. Not a fan. Never been a fan of their multiplayer.
I actually like their multiplayer. It was really fun. That's all. I didn't like Call of Duty. I don't like Call of Duty's multiplayer anymore. Battlefield 6 multiplayer is actually really fucking fun.
A little boring. If you disagree,
it's really
that's fine.
fucking fun.
You can have different opinions on gaming. Played plenty of 30 other games a year on average, so I'm sure there's going to be some I like and dislike and vice versa. It's just kind of how it goes. I'm also infinitely more interested in Arc Raiders and what they're going to provide. And then still continuing to play all the other games that I want to play, that I regularly play. But when it comes to content, there's tons to cover that I can be positive about and enjoy with Black Ops 7, Zombies, Arc Raiders. Until I get more playtime in the Battlefield VR,
I'm
it
not
makes no
interested in
sense
Zombies
for
this
me
year either
to
because they ruined
focus on
the
Warzone
storyline.
and essentially just be bitching about Warzone. Like, it's at that point where I'm tired of bitching about Warzone. And although I think the devs are hard at work and that content will hopefully be good, I can't stay on this ride for 7 months
Yeah.
just bitching about the game not
anybody
having what I
can.
want because there's a carrot on the stick 7-8 months out. That's just not how it works. And even at the event, a lot of creators are in kind of the same boat. Many of them do actually like Battlefield, so they'll be probably posting that type of content. And many of them are interested in Arc Raiders or other games. So it's going to be a pretty big
I'll have to look
issue
into Arc Raiders because I
for
heard
Warzone,
like
but
Tim,
that's not for me to
Clock,
worry about.
and
So
Nick talk about
it'll
Arc
be
Raiders, so I might look into
about
that
goodbye
too.
to the
But I don't know.
channel. It's just going to be goodbye in terms of such an emphasis on Warzone, and
Yeah.
maybe lean in more to the roots of the channel, which is multiplayer, and maybe even dabble a little bit in zombies and find out what this.
Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. So I don't know. They completely killed it. They completely killed Warzone. Multiplayer looks good, but I know they're going to have so many issues with SBMM, and it's probably going to die after a month or two, just for casual players. Grinders will probably stay on until they get Dark Matter and all that, and then they're done too. So, see how the beta goes in the next 4 hours. Yeah.